Comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas, and of course, praise the Lord, we are on radio. 105 FM, The Beat. So I want you to spread the message. Tell all the people them in their cars and on their trucks and bicycle them that Freedom March is now on television and radio. I hope we are on radio throughout the Family Islands, but I shall be conducting an investigation. My name is Rodney Monker. I am a justice of the peace here within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas with powers under Section 5 of the Magistrate Act to order lawful arrest. And of course, I'm a member of the local Catholic community. But I thank God, after a bloody weekend with Negro citizens either being shot by criminals and or by the police, my spiritual advisor is here with me. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Monker.
Well, as usual, my clocks are off, but I shall pretend like they are on as I welcome everybody to Freedom March on radio and on TV. Yesterday, I had a wonderful breakfast with the former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram. And of course, Mr. Ingram is disgusted and shocked over the fact that the Speaker of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Mr. Halston Moultrie, was rude and insulting to the wife of opposition leader Philip Brave Davis. And I'm authorized by Mr. Ingram to extend public apologies because Mr. Ingram feels very bad about it. I got a bunch of things to tell you. However, Mr. Ingram has requested that I use our influence here to help to save and protect the prophetess Miriam Emanuel. Papa says, whatever I do, we must save Mrs. Emanuel. And Papa, have no fear, I shall save that woman of God. So this is Freedom March. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Monker. It's glad to be here with you. And once again, you're out to the public on radio, Mr. Monker.
We are on radio, my spiritual advisor.
Very much familiar territory for you.
And you.
Haven't been on the radio before, so
yes.
There's nothing new. But, of course, we're enjoying it here with 105.3 The Beat.
Now, listen.
Don't get mixed up.
To remember The Beat.
105.3.
Tout le monde haïtien. Mapgui Radio. 105 FM. Bateau. En anglais, The Beat. We'll be right back after the break. We're still live, my spiritual advisor. Give me a bump.
Yeah, of course, Mr. Monker.
This is powerful. Listen, we are live. It's my favorite.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. And simultaneously, we are on radio, 105 FM, Beat the Beat. Goodness me.
The Beat.
Tout le monde haïtien, pardonne-moi. 105.3 FM, The Beat. This is powerful. Well, folks, we want to welcome our radio listeners. You have been making demand for radio. And guess what? Immediately this morning I got a call from Freeport, Grand Bahama. The people them there wants to know whether or not they can be traveling in their vehicles after they knock off and or while at work and listen to Freedom March. I told them I didn't know, because everything here seems to be top secret. But by grab, it's in the open now. We are up and running. My spiritual advisor.
Live.
We are live.
On 105.3.
Look at the camera and tell the people them.
105.3 The Beat.
This is powerful, isn't it?
Absolutely.
This is powerful.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, the weekend was bloody. We had a Negro male in Bainstown, and apparently 3 other Negro thugs entered a famous nightclub located between Hutchison Street and Innes Lane. And after some dispute, a Negro male is reported to have taken out a gun and lick off a number of shots. When the shots had come to an end, there were 3 other Negro males who were seriously injured. And of course, they were rushed to hospital according to Negro reports. They were taken in a private vehicle where one of the men succumbed to his injuries, and the other 2 are currently at hospital fighting for their lives. It is a serious situation that our young men are unable to resolve conflicts unless they take out a gun. It is the weapon of choice. And in a major gathering, they are not concerned about who their victims will be and or the collateral damages which will be created. The possession of gun illegally is a serious criminal offense. And we have seen in the country efforts by very sophisticated Negro people to smuggle weapons into our country. And we've also seen on social media a man reported to be an American yachtman, he and his son, in possession of a big gun. Some sources say it might have been an AK-47. I must confess that at 61, the police has not shown me an AK-47 yet. But it is clear to me that the penalty for illegal possession of firearms needs to be increased so that we can constantly send a message to the society that if you are found in possession of an illegal weapon, you're going to jail for a long time. And we don't care if your ma don't like it. We don't care if your pa don't like it. We don't care if your bishop don't like it. In fact, anyone who comes forward to speak on your behalf better be an unsaved man. Because I believe now that if the bishop comes to speak on your part, the bishop is a gangster and we should jail him. God forgive me if that is a sin. But I say that to say that we have to now become tougher with these laws. If you go in a crowded area and open fire, that's terrorism. That's what it is. Not only is it terrorism, its manifestation also tell us it's gangsterism. And so it's a very sad situation where you can't even go to a nice social gathering because our young men, they think that they can walk around, drive around with dangerous weapon. I want you all to stop it. I want you all to take these guns and throw them in the middle of the ocean and or put it somewhere and tell the police where to find it. It's a sad, sad day, my spiritual advisor. Do you wish to comment on that?
No, Mr. Monica, the reality to all this is that when you analyze Christianity and some of the basic teachings and precepts, there are some that are lacking that our young men don't understand, right? And here it is in Mark chapter 12. I just want to touch on this briefly. There about verse number 28. One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating. Noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer, he asked, of all the commandments, which is the most important? The most important one, answered Jesus, is this: Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. He says, and the second is this. We have the first one, and he says the second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus says there's no commandment greater than these two: the love of God, the love for God, and the love for your fellow man. Loving your neighbor as you love yourself. The reality is, one of the reasons why we have, all of this conflict resolutions not being, dealt with properly is because our young men, there's no love. And as a result of there being no love, sadly enough, they're destroying one another. This is a very, very sad thing in our country, Mr. Monica. And the only way to stop this is we need to practice to love one another more.
And for those who have no love in their hearts and carry out criminal activities, what then should be done with those people?
The law.
The law.
The law must take its effect.
This is powerful.
The law must take its full effect,
advisor.
Mr. Monica.
Yes.
And until that happens, we're just going to have a society where these men are just wreaking havoc. I mean, it's sad. It's scary. We had another weekend where, we had 1 or 2 people killed. I mean, I understand there was probably another shooting this morning. I don't have the full details.
Well, I have some details here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's just one of those things.
Well, we've also received reports that, the newspaper tell us that on the weekend, the police were involved with what one Negro newspaper described as a dealer. That's the quotation. I go to the Tribune newspaper headlines. Dealer, well, I should say it like this, quote, dealer, end quote, dies in police gun battle. And then I go to Bahama Press, who identify the Negro suspect and gives him a character reference, arguing that the Negro man has never had any unlawful encounter with police. But police says that someone was involved in some drug activity, and upon seeing the police, opened fire. The police returned fire, and a person now lay dead in the city of Nassau, in the island of New Providence, on the cooling board. That's how Mama described it, the cooling board. And then, of course, we have been advised that after the police shooting, the deputy coroner was called in. So that is a very interesting phenomenon taking place. And meanwhile, this morning, I go to the Negro Nassau Guardian website, where they report that a man was shot and killed by police around 6:30 a.m. today near Columbus Primary School on Collins Avenue. This is, according to the Nassau Guardian, to 6 police-involved shooting in less than 1 month. Assistant Police Commissioner Clayton Fernanda provides details to the media. So that is what the Negro Nassau Guardian has reported. I find it disturbing that in the case of this shooting, the allegations are that this Negro suspect who was killed around 6:30 had a knife in his hand, and the police, in fear of their lives, killed him. There are things in my mind when I hear that it was a knife. The things in my mind that I find troubling. However, I shall reserve my emotion for the time being as I attempt to further understand. Because in 2012, when the PLP came to power, the police started the PLP's reign by shooting a number of Negro suspects. It was so upsetting for the former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram that he was compelled to issue a statement condemning what has taken place. So I want the police to exercise more control. I want the police to commit themselves to bringing in the criminal suspect. And I want to say to the criminal suspect, listen, you cannot pull a gun on the police. If you pull a gun on the police can have to shoot you. Simple as that. You can't even pull a toy gun. I had a Negro woman some years ago whose son pulled a toy gun and the police shoot him. And her complaint to me was, it was a toy gun. You know, it's almost something to laugh at, but it's a human tragedy. She said, he only had a toy gun. I said, but he didn't tell the police it was a toy. All right? So I want the police not to pursue the criminals and, you know, see if you can bring some of them in now. That's what I want. And what is happening is the public is in fear of crime to the extent that the public is becoming insensitive because everybody's afraid of the criminal. These are not nice guys. And so the public is losing interest and is looking another way as the police shoot you all. So you better stop it. Put your gun down. Put your knife down. And when the police say surrender, do it peacefully. And I call on the women them, the mothers them. You have to talk constantly to your sons because crime is serious in the country. You hear me? And the police will defend their lives. And you can't blame the police. You can't pull a gun on me and then I have a gun and don't expect for me to shoot you. Am I wrong, my spiritual advisor?
You're correct. I mean, it seems as if you may want to go just now along the lines of excessive force, but I don't think you want to deal with that quite yet. Is there such a thing as excessive force?
Well, if, for instance, I kick the police, and then he takes his gun and put it to my head and blow my brain out. Okay. That is excessive force.
There's actually no need for that then.
But if I kick the police and he draw off and give me 2 uppercuts, you can't say...
Then that's justified.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You follow my point?
Yeah, that's justified.
Unless I miss and kick him.
Yeah, okay.
All right? It's that kind of thing. But even then, we know of the police being under greater provocation, right? Where a man spit on the police and the police didn't beat the hell out of him. Okay. It was the straw vendors who beat the hell out of him. Okay? So, these are very sad and unfortunate situations, but the crime level is extremely high. You hear me? It's very high. I want you all to stop. Don't mind the FNM is advocating the legalization of drugs. It is still unlawful. Don't mind. Because I blame all of this on the FNM. All of a sudden, FNMs who I know as a young man, they were smoking dope when they was in primary school. well, not primary, junior high. And they smoke grass, and now, and do other little things. They're now trying to get it legalized, and I'm opposed to it. I'm opposed to it as a father. I'm opposed to it as a grandpa. I'm opposed to it because it's a gateway drug. And I lived through the 80s, and I have the Commission of Inquiry report, and I know what was going on. All right? So I'm opposing it. But it is sad that these shootings are taking place, and I appeal to parents, please speak to your sons. Tell them it is better to surrender and, live than to pull a gun. Because them guns what the police got, they look light to me, right? But they look like some powerful gun. They look like Riddler. Have you ever seen a Riddler, my spiritual advisor?
What's a Riddler?
Riddler is a gun that can go. You follow? Yeah. Look like a Riddler. So please, for heaven's sake, speak to your sons and recognize that the police are human beings and they have family and they don't want to die. And their gun is now becoming bigger. So for heaven's sake, come on. You know the police want you. You go to the police. And if you don't have a gun and the police shoot you, I could curse the police out. Good. But if you have a gun, you see how my arguments will not be as progressive as I would like it. I would prefer if the police is shooting any of you, you have no gun, you have no knife, no weapon. And then I could row and cuss and march up and down. You follow my point? But if you got a gun, you see how it defeats my argument. Because one, it's unlawful. Two, you ain't supposed to be in possession without a permit from the Commissioner of Police. Please understand that. It is so sad, my spiritual advisor. What comforting words do you have?
Mr. Moncur, actually, the way things are now in this country, there are no comforting words because apparently there are a lot of guns on the streets. And these guns are in the hands of the wrong people. The police has a very hard job of trying to get these guns off the street because apparently as soon as the police relieve the streets of a certain amount of weapons, some more sail into the country and getting back into the hands of these criminals, man. So, it's frightening for the public, to know that you could be sitting in traffic and a car could pull up on the side of you, and this could be somebody who has a weapon in his possession, But it's just one of those things that we have to continuously pray for, that, the police force, along with concerted effort from the public, would, liaise together to try and see if they could get into this criminal cycle and relieve the streets of these guns, man. These guns are there, my friend. They're there.
This is Freedom March. Parents, do you know where your sons are? Speak to your adult sons, because the life you save might be theirs. This is Freedom March.
Freedom March with Rodney Moncur will be right back after this. Expressed by Rodney Moncur, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios and, of course, on 105.3 FM, The Beat. It's our radio station. Tout le monde haïtien, bienvenue. 105.3 FM, Batla, The Beat. 105.3 FM, Batla, The Beat. Bienvenue, Batla, The Beat. Okay? And I want you to tell every Haitian that I am on the radio as well. Dis tout moun Haitien pep moi yo, Monsieur Moncur, ak spiritual advisor na radio la. Okay? Spread the word. I need the people, them, to know it. Well, on Saturday, I returned to the taxi. There I work from Bahama. It appears that the tourists, them, are arriving at Bahama, and I have been conducting scientific surveys of the tourists, them, because I want to know what is their impression of Bahama in comparison to the other resort on Paradise Island, where many of them have told me that they visited before. It is shocking that the tourists, them, are giving Bahama an A+ rating. I'm serious with that. Moreover, it is extremely surprising of their level of impression and appreciation of Bahama staff. They're giving me good reports because every time a tourist jump in the taxi, I make a conversation with them and I question them. But on Saturday afternoon, 2 American, an Asian American and a Caucasian American, they were traveling together. They had arrived at Bahama for a meeting, and they were kind of upset because the people that they were supposed to meet with apparently either did not show up or showed up late. And I was particularly interested because, notwithstanding that I'm chauffeuring them to return them over to Paradise Island, I could hear what they were saying, and I got involved in their conversation. They loved Bahama, but they had one problem. They wanted to know how old was the hotel. And I asked them, what do you mean when you say how old is the hotel? They said, well, the casino. How long has it been here on the island? I said, man, that casino just opened up last year, April. They just finished building that. He said, well, we smell a smoke in the casino, which suggested to us that it's an old casino after years of smoke. And I said, no, man, that ain't no old casino. That's a brand new casino. Will you describe the smoke you smell? And by grab, when they had finished describing it, I was able to solve the case. I told them that the F&M government cannot handle the landfill. And as a result of that, last week, Sunday, Bahama was smoked out doing Super Bowl. And then the Chinese American looked at the Caucasian American and said, so that's what cost it. It was interesting to hear what they had to say. But by Sunday, I continued to survey. I decided I'm working Saturday and I shall not go home on Sunday. So I just work all night. I don't know where Bahama find those people who constantly wanted to either go over to Paradise Island and or to the cruise ship. But I came in contact with a number of American couples, meaning man and his wife. And their observation was also powerful. I always wanted to know, how is the service? It was excellent. How are the staff? Wonderful. Did you get the impression that they understood their job? Good rating. And then, of course, I decided, let me see if they were familiar with the smoke scent. Interestingly, on Sunday, not one tourist, after the Saturday tourists told me of the smoke, they said, listen, it is a beautiful atmosphere. It is refreshing. And we are so comfortable with the staff. So Bahama continued to get a positive review. So this is powerful, my spiritual advisor.
Yes, it is, Mr. Monica, and it is a wonderful place. I visit there like about 3 times now. I've been there 3 times, and I'm very impressed with it.
Very impressed.
Beautiful.
This is powerful.
Beautiful.
So to the staff at Bahama, you're getting good ratings from the tourists as they exit. And basically on Sunday, the many tourists that I drove, I was taking them from the hotel to the international airport, Lyndon Pinlings Airport. And so you have good rating. Please continue the good services. And remember, if the Bahamas is to be #1 in tourism, you, the workers, you must act and conduct your services as if you are the #1 staff. It's good for tourism. And tourism is our business. Anything?
What, is it #1?
We are #1.
#1 industry, yeah.
Yeah. So we have to act
I
that way.
thought banking had taken it over.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
tourism
Banking is deteriorating in the Bahamas.
Yes, of course. Yes,
Right.
it is. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
don't talk about banking. When it's all over, we will have to hide our money in Rock Hall.
Well, either that or give some of our young businessmen banking licenses. I mean,
And
you
or
know.
you can go to the credit unions.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's powerful. Well, folks, having told you that, you know what is on my mind? Hubert Alexander Ingram is on my mind. And you will notice that I'm wearing a gold necktie. Papa is concerned about my dress. I thought it was very interesting. You know, I know Papa a long time. The Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, I had to say to him, listen, Papa, don't worry about my robe. Sebas already told me he's going to buy me a big robe. I told Papa that. But Papa said that he had some special necktie that he'd like for me to have. I said, Papa, where are those necktie? And Papa told me, have no fear. So Papa has given me a bag full of these necktie. But I took out one. My spiritual advisor will understand that tonight I'm having a meeting with Brother Jacks. Brother Jacks, he's going to have to take at least a dozen of them. Because whatever Papa give me, I have to share with Brother Jacks. All right? And man, isn't it a wonderful necktie? The only thing I said to the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, I said, now Papa, Henry Boswick, a former president of the Senate, I said, Papa, he gave me some clothing. And Papa, Mr. Boswick threw it in my face. Now Papa said, now listen, I'll never throw these in your face. So Boswick, that necktie that you give me, I'm going to give you one of those that Papa gave me. Man, Papa gave me a big bag. And as Papa and I sat down to talk, guess who catch me and Papa? Bradley Roberts.
Oh, okay.
Bradley Roberts show up.
Former chairman of the Progressive
The
Liberal
former
Party.
chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party. I looked at him, I looked at Papa, and like they don't want to talk to one another.
Really?
Yeah. And I said to Bradley Roberts, I said, Mr. Roberts, know we not who you are? I said, you're a member of the Holy Roman Catholic Church. And the former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, is a member of the Roman Catholic Church.
Two Catholics.
And I'm a new member of the Roman Catholic Church, and y'all two gonna have to set an example for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the next thing I know,
They should be speaking, man. They're brothers of the same faith.
Bradley Roberts throw one little blow at Papa, and Papa block it. And by the time it was over, I said to Mr. Roberts, because Papa and I were having a special mug of green tea. Papa had already run for about 5 miles for the morning, did about 100 jumping jacks, and about 30 sit-ups. So I said to
Papa in that kind of shape?
Papa in good shape. Papa's lose half of that belly.
Really?
Yeah. Papa,
Wow.
Papa's running
Okay, well, that's
and
good.
so forth.
That's good.
So I said to Mr. Roberts, look, me and Papa will be having, this is nice tea. You have to do a little something for me. So he asked me what I wanted, and I told him, I'll have me some banana bread. But after Mr. Roberts would have left, Papa and I got down to some serious political conversation. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Halston Moultrie, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram is angry over your insults to the leader of the opposition wife, Mrs. Anne Marie Davis. Papa don't like that. Papa told me that you were wrong. Papa has asked me to apologize. So on behalf of the former Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander
Ingram.
Forgive me. There's so much.
Hubert Alexander.
Let's get it right. I thank you, my spiritual advisor. Let's get it right. On behalf of the former Prime Minister and the second Prime Minister in an Independence Bahamas, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, Papa has asked me to nationally apologize to Philip Brave Davis' wife. And so, Mrs. Anne Marie Davis, on behalf of the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, I apologize to you for the rude and insulting remarks that the Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Halston Moultrie, made. Papa is upset and he's very disappointed in what he did. You heard me? Papa. And so, Papa said to me that never in the history of our parliamentary democracy that the entire leadership of the opposition has ever been suspended. You heard me? Papa said that was wrong. Hubert Alexander Ingram said not only was it politically wrong, it was immoral. And the good thing that I love is, Mr. Ingram say, I can speak in his name subject to one condition. One, I do not lie. Papa don't like what you did. I was shocked. I thought Papa would have been like the rest of the other F&M. And Papa said, you don't do that. You hear me? He said, it's despicable. And Papa is disappointed that F&M parliamentarians sat in the House of Assembly and fire those insulting remarks at Fred Mitchell. Because Papa told me that when it comes to Fred Mitchell, Fred is extremely incompetent, and that Fred has served the country with dignity and distinction. That they were wrong to cast or attempt to cast aspersion on Fred's character. And so I said, Papa, you've been to the PLP rally because Fred said how he served Sir Lyndon, and then he served you and every Governor General, and he served the former Prime Minister Perry Christie. Papa said Fred didn't lie. Papa told me that Fred didn't lie, that when it came to Sir Lyndon, Fred provided national service with dignity. The same thing applied to Mr. Ingram when he was Prime Minister, to Mr. Christie when he was Prime Minister. And he confirmed that for every Governor General who required Fred good counsel, he said Fred has done an impeccable job. I sat down. I was kind of shocked. Goodness me, look what Papa's saying. All right? Now, Papa, I said to Papa, well, Papa, what about this fish that Philip Brave Davis called the Speaker of the House? So Papa said, what I'm talking about. I said, but Papa, he said that the Speaker is a Durgan fish. Papa said, he don't mean no fish. I said, Papa, what you mean? I had one woman from Meguana. She tell me what fish it was. I said, and a man from Grand Turtle Key. Papa said, do you know what Durgan mean? I said, Papa, yes. Durgan is a kind of fish. Papa got the dictionary. He said, let me show you something here. He wasn't talking but that Durgan. He meant another animal. And when Papa spelled Durgan different from how we spell Durgan for the fish, I was shocked. I did not know that Philip Brave Davis was calling the speaker a dumb A.
Donkey?
Donkey start with D. He was calling him the dumb of the rear of the donkey. I said, Papa, I didn't know it was too Durgan. He said, listen, Philip Brave Davis, by virtue of his education, can speak in a language where the grassroots people will think he meant the fish. And those who are of the elite class will know he meant the donkey's ass. That's what Papa told me. And so Papa said he didn't think that Philip Brave Davis should have said that. And that he wants me to condemn Philip Brave Davis for saying it. I said, but Papa, I want to take you to the law on provocation. He was provoked. Papa said, yeah, he was provoked, but he still shouldn't call the speaker a dumb A. I said, but Papa, he said Durgan. Papa said, listen, Durgan means that. So thank God for Papa. Now I have the two meanings for Durgan. Durgan, when the grass man talk about it, we mean what kind of fish?
I don't know what kind of fish this is.
You don't remember when the people tell us about that fish that you skin and mince?
Turbot?
Turbot.
Oh,
That
okay.
kind of family is turbot.
Okay. All right.
But Papa said that Philip Brave Davis was not describing the fish.
No fish.
He was describing how the speaker is a dumb A.
A donkey.
Not D. The rear of the donkey.
Okay.
All right? So Philip Brave Davis, Papa said, must condemn you. So I told Papa, let me pray over it, because I know you were provoked. But that's what Papa said. And Papa, Mr. Davis, Papa told me, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram told me that he hopes that the FNM is not stupid enough to borrow $90 million while the opposition cannot come to the House. You heard what I told you? He said he hoped. And at that point, I said, Papa, tell them what you did when Penland did something like that. And I asked Mr. Ingram to please tell members of his Praetorian Guard, a bunch of young people who don't know what's going on in the country. Papa said that in 1991, Penling passed a resolution and there was not a full quorum of the House. And he told Scotiabank that if they give Penling and the PLP the loan, the FNM will not be responsible. So Papa says he hoped that the FNM doesn't make the mistake for Philip Brave Davis to tell the IDB, that's the International Development Bank, that any resolution that is passed and the opposition cannot come to the House, don't be surprised if Philip Brave Davis then, when he becomes Prime Minister in the next term, refuse to pay it. I mean, Papa just vax. Papa just vax. And I want you all to know that Mr. Ingram does not appreciate that the House of Assembly standard dropped, and that there was not one Negro politician who got up and said to the Speaker, oh no, don't call Philip Brave Davis' wife. Don't do that. Because Papa say that we are free to love who we want to love and to marry who we want to marry. That's what Papa say. And he doesn't like it. So if anybody see Mrs. Anne Marie Davis, the wife of the leader of the opposition, the Honorable Philip Davis, he's leader of the opposition in this country, you tell Mrs. Davis that I am authorized by the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, a former Prime Minister and a former leader. In fact, Papa is leader emeritus of the FNM. Am I pronouncing the word correctly, my spiritual advisor?
I don't know if it's emeritus, though.
How would you pronounce it?
I'm trying to figure it now.
You would pronounce it emeritus.
Right.
But I don't like to say emeritus. Papa is leader emeritus, or in my word, leader emeritus of the FNM. And I'm authorized, and it is my honor, Mrs. Anne Marie Davis, the wife of the leader of the opposition in this country, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, has authorized me to apologize, not only for him, but for the whole country. And as a justice of the peace appointed first by Hubert Ingram, I hereby apologize to you. And we hope that the Speaker would quickly pack his Johnny bundle and take his Negro self home. That's what we hope. My spiritual advisor, isn't Papa a national hero to recognize that the Speaker has sinned?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have respect for the former Prime Minister, you know, and I think you should follow his instructions, you know, and ask Philip Brave Davis to apologize to the Speaker as well for calling him a Durgan. You know, that may have just set the tone as to how the Speaker may have decided to turn things over. I mean, there's no justification for both sides.
My problem is,
but you know, two wrongs don't make it right.
And my problem is,
there has to be some man-up situation here.
A. Leonard Archer threw me out of high school. Him and Mrs. Mary Knapp. If only I had stayed in school for one more month, I would have recognized that there were two Durgans. One is the fish, and the other one, according to Papa, is a dumb A. That's the meaning. And that's what Philip Brave Davis was saying. And he was provoked. I told Papa, look how the Speaker could have caused the leader of the opposition in this country, you know, to roll up his sleeve.
That may have been the straw that breaks the camel's back, man.
No,
you know?
The Speaker is wrong. And when I come back,
I'm not saying he's right. You know?
I will look at what Mrs. Eileen Karen had to say. Look at a little piece of her editorial. And I will tell you that Papa say to protect and defend the prophetess Miriam Emanuel. And Papa,
that's strange.
That's powerful.
Yeah, why her?
Well,
why her? That's interesting.
All I know,
amidst the comments that she would have made,
Papa said to
protect scenario,
her.
Even though it was completely out of place,
Papa said to protect her.
Out of
Papa knows.
Touch and out of order.
Papa said to protect her. Papa
said to be protected.
I declare.
I find that strange.
Miriam Emanuel, one of the women them, and the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram has demanded of me that she be protected. And anyone who raised their political sword at Mother Miriam, I'm sorry, I gonna have to attack them. Because Mr. Ingram said I must protect her. I mean, God is just working mysteriously. Papa said, protect her. And I shall protect her. You hear me? Miriam is not to be attacked. We're going after the Speaker. And when I return, I will tell you how the leader of the opposition, Philip Brave Davis, is moving swiftly to move a motion and or a resolution that this Parliament has no confidence in this big black Speaker. He's politically immoral and he must be condemned and he must resign. And then when I come back, there is a $250 that young people can make if they draw something for me. I'll tell you about it. And the best draw will get the $250. And if I tell you $250 is here, you take my word. Because you see where I'm sitting. I am sitting where I know. I am sitting where I know that I can find the $250. There's a national pride. A national prize. And when I come back, we'll talk about it. This is Freedom March. The Speaker, he's wrong and he must go. Papa! I don't apologize. Tell Papa. Call Papa and tell him.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and I am one of Her Majesty's Justices of the Peace for the entire Commonwealth of the Bahamas. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is here. Bradley, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Monker.
Well, I don't know what is the last day of the month of February. So while I'm talking, the producer, you will tell me. I know it's the 29th. Now, which day does it fall on?
What?
I want to know.
How many days does February have?
Listen, my spiritual advisor, this might be a leap year.
It is a leap year, is it?
The 28 days?
It's 28 days in February.
Okay, so Wednesday. So, folks.
Somebody said 29.
Yes.
Is this a leap year? No, right? This is a leap year?
It can't be a leap year. Okay? Now, folks, I'm giving out a prize here in the capital. $250 for anyone who draws a picture of the wife of the president of the Senate, the president of let me repeat it again, $250 for a person who draw a picture of Mrs. Halston Moultrie. She must be dressed in her indigenous costume. You would recall that the speaker said, as he attacked the leader of the opposition wife, he said that his wife was an indigenous Bahamian. So you have to draw her, but she must be dressed either in her Arawak costume, her Lucayan costume, or who else? Or her Tino. Is it Tanino? All right? And you must have it here no later than Wednesday the 28th. You address it to me, Rodney Monker, in care of Freedom March, and you drop it at the studio. There, a panelist will examine the photographs, and the winner will be paid $250. All right? Draw me a photograph. It must look like her, but she must be dressed in her indigenous costume. Because the speakers say she is an indigenous Bahamian. Well, my spiritual advisor, you have no comments on that one.
And that's one of the reasons why we're not going to get anywhere in this conversation, right? Here's what we need to do. We need to do what leads to mutual peace and edification. Now, this road you're going down, it's not going to make the situation any better. Why we want to go back to that?
Well, the leader of the opposition has announced.
It's all said. It's in the past. You know, we're trying to move forward with this now. You see? I mean, how much more of a mockery you want to make of the situation, man?
The leader of the opposition.
Why are we doing this?
My spiritual advisor, are you going to listen to me?
This does not make the situation any better. Why you want to go down the road? We're trying to mend this thing to get the House and the business and the opposition and the ruling party on one accord so they can do the people's business. That's the ultimate goal, you know. These people are placed in the House to deal with the people's business. All this personal stuff about this one and the other one, that stuff should not be coming up. Personal issues has nothing to do with governance and policies. Let's get to work and do the people's business. Now, this thing which you got going on here, I advise against that. Okay. Because it doesn't help or lead to any kind of mutual edification or peace.
Well, my spiritual advisor, I thank you.
All you're doing is you're just adding fuel to the fire.
I thank you for
look at what you're doing, Mr. Monker.
Advice, $250.
For what?
$250. You're not allowed to compete. The leader of the opposition, the Honorable Philip Davis, MPQC, has by private note to the Speaker of the House of Assembly, dated the 9th of February 2018, served notice of the intention of the leader or another member of the opposition moving a vote of no confidence in the Speaker. Mr. Davis has also asked that the Speaker clarify when the 4 suspended members of the PLP will be allowed back into the House so as to avoid any further loss of the quorum in the House. The convention of the House called for such a resolution to be debated as a matter of priority and without the Speaker in the chair. The PLP stands behind its members of Parliament in their fight against the injustices brought against them by the Speaker of the House. We encourage all PLP members, supporters, and persons of goodwill to attend the House and assemble in the public square for the debate on the resolution when it happens. So I am told that we have some people on the line. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello?
There.
Hello? Hello? Yes, speak up. Speak loudly.
Yes, speak up. Speak loudly.
Try the next caller.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Can you raise your voice?
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, but your voice is low. I don't know if they have the volume down. In
Yeah,
this.
probably. And good
Okay,
evening
yes.
to the spiritual advisor
Yes.
as well.
Yes, good evening. How you doing?
Do you know Mr. Davis said that the night before he reached out to the Speaker and the Prime Minister?
Really?
Yes, he did.
And what
to
happened?
avoid all of this.
Yes.
He did reach out to them.
Okay. Well, tough luck.
Okay.
Because Mr. Ingram is upset over it. He said he didn't ever thought the House would descend to this standard. Where,
Hello.
Hello, welcome to Freedom House. Yes?
Hello.
Yes?
Yeah, Mr. Moncur, what you saying?
This is Conky Joe Man again, eh?
This your friend. This your good friend.
You got 1 second. Go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Moncur.
Yes?
Okay, if they put a vote of no confidence against the Speaker, right?
Right?
Who gonna vote?
Who can what?
Who can vote?
It would be all members of Parliament who would
Well, all
vote.
the members of Parliament is FNM.
Well, they might be decent
There's
FNM.
nobody to vote.
Listen to me.
And Mr. David, them should know better than that.
Would you please listen?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Papa, the right
I
on.
know, I know my papa.
I want you to put this Conky Joe Man on hold. Because you obviously a saved Conky Joe Man. Listen. A resolution will be put forward. And members of the Parliament will either condemn him or support his misogynism. His misogynism is his unholy attack on the wife of the leader of the opposition. Bring me the Conky Joe Man back.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mr. Moncur,
Yes?
they only got 4 members to vote.
Well, I don't know if they have 4
You know
because...
FNM can vote against the Speaker?
Are you telling me that the FNM ain't decent?
Man, look here, you know how much times in Parliament that happened? When Sir Linden was there, it happened with Sir Linden, and nothing happened.
Listen.
It happened on the Ingram.
Listen.
Nothing
I
happened.
want you to listen to me. Take, for instance, Minister Warren Miller. He's a born-again Christian. You don't
I
take
don't
it?
care what he is.
Anyway, I can let you go. Y'all, Conky Joe, y'all ain't something, eh?
Yeah, but you
Jesus.
know better than that yourself.
We gotta have the resolution. You think the Speaker should have cursed that man,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I got, listen. You're going to be down there, eh?
Yeah, I want you to come. So
Yeah, okay,
so
I can meet you down there.
So I could boo you.
All right.
Booyaka.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway. Hello, welcome to the man.
You something else.
Hello. Hello, welcome. Can they hear me?
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Moncur.
Yes, turn your voice down a little bit.
Okay,
No,
my
no, no,
family.
not you, not you.
Okay.
I'm talking to my producer. Go ahead, talk.
Okay, my family.
Yes.
Listen here. You see that Mr. Ingram there? That's a good man.
Oh, yeah,
I love him.
Papa
He's a good man.
Yeah.
I was wondering when he was going to come forward.
Oh, Papa's
And-
upset.
Yeah, Papa is a good man.
Yeah.
Papa has sense.
Yeah.
Mr. Menace even ain't trying to apologize for that old fool that's sitting up there.
Yeah,
the next
be careful.
see him say that, I say that's old big dumb. Listen.
No, don't do that.
Man, you and Mr. Roll, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Listen, just one quick
You put
second.
no more fire in it. The fire already out here.
But listen, just one quick warning or advice to you, okay? Remember Jesus says, do not call any man a fool.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
But
when you call somebody a fool, you actually call them an empty-headed person. You don't do that.
yeah, man.
Yeah, but that wasn't nice what you said at the speaker.
But look here.
But in this case, my spiritual advisor, she's not sinning.
Miss
Yes, she is.
Miss
Yes.
Miss Emmanuel,
Yes.
she just answered out of turn. She should have probably sit down a little longer and listen.
Papa said I must protect her.
She trying to defend the speaker, but that ain't work.
That is true.
But the Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, Mr. Ingram,
Yes.
he defended to the top, to the max. He saved me 3 times. That's why I love him. He's
Listen,
the
Papa-
boss.
Papa's
That's
a good
the real
man.
boss out there.
Yeah.
And thank you very much, Mr. Spiritual Advisor and Mr. Manker.
Yes,
Keep up the
ma'am.
good works, Mr. Manker.
I thank you, my
Cat
love.
Island man.
Oh, yeah?
All right.
This is powerful. Listen, Papa is very upset. I've never seen Papa upset like this in all my life. And as Papa held that big jug of hot green tea that I bought it. I told Papa, put your money back. Because the bats them give me a couple of dollars on the weekend. And listen to me. I just bought tea for Papa. And you see what Papa do? Papa give me a bag full of T-shirts. And then, of course, Papa had a lot of PLP color T-shirts. I warned Papa that he and I could end up getting thrown the body. He had to give me a couple of red shirts. So, Jocks, come by me, because whatever Papa give me, half for you. My spiritual advisor, you're not jealous, right?
Of course not, man.
All right.
Of course not.
Yeah, this is powerful.
I got too much ties myself, too.
Okay, but these are Papa's tie.
Okay. Makes a big difference.
Papa's not like Henry Boswick. All them clothes Mr. Boswick give me.
Yeah.
He throw more loneliness at me. But Boswick, Papa give me a bag. A wonderful necktie. There's only one more thing I want from Papa. Papa has that morning suit that he went to Prince William's wedding in. And I really want that suit. Papa, you think I could have that morning suit? I think Papa will give it to me. And Papa ain't gonna throw no loneliness. Henry Boswick give me that coat suit and run into a man that I lend the coat to. And the next thing I know,
the man gave you the coat.
Yeah.
And you turn around and let it to somebody else.
yeah, but I'm supposed to. Boswick rich. Give me that wonderful coat. And the man wanted to borrow it. So I lent the man it. Boswick ran into the man and said, this coat looked like my coat. But Papa ain't gonna do that. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Hello.
Sir?
Yes, Mr. Monco. The gentleman will always call you what you call a conky joke. Somebody needs to take him and beat him with a belt.
No, that's not nice. That's not nice. Don't say
No,
that.
but I mean, he always running on with something. When you started throwing jazz out of from one party to the next party, people don't pay. People don't pay for that. The politicians are using our money. They need to go get their butt and do some way for the Bahamian people and stop taking all this stuff personal.
I quite agree with you, my brother.
You know, they ain't waking a day up. They're having a good time and stuff. After election, you can't find them. Tell them get they behind to wake and do the job for the Bahamian people.
I quite agree with you. Take it care. Have anybody else on the phone? Okay. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello?
Good evening, Mr. Monker.
Good evening, my love.
Good evening, spiritual advisor.
Yes, good evening. How are you?
Mr. Monker.
Yes, ma'am.
You think the Speaker of the House know the fish what Mr. Davis is talking about?
Well, Papa educated me. He got a big dictionary.
He's very smart.
Oh, Papa's an intellectual extraordinaire.
I love him.
And Papa said to me, listen, the Durgan that you think the leader of the opposition meant is not the Durgan.
I heard you.
You see? Mm-hmm. And then Papa showed me where Durgan meant dumb A.
Yes.
You see?
Uh-huh.
I can't say the A word.
But what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you think the speaker know?
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean?
Oh, yeah. The speaker's a highly educated man.
He is?
Oh, yeah. Don't mind he was acting dumb. The speaker is highly educated.
But he was acting dumb then.
Yes, he was. That's why the leader of the opposition called him a Durgan.
Yes.
You see?
Okay.
But Papa say he shouldn't say it.
Yeah, that was unkind.
And how you mean it's unkind and you go on board with the man right
Yeah,
from
but
the
all
time,
that, wrong is wrong. You
Yeah,
know,
but what
so
you want the leader of the
we gotta
opposition
bring
do?
this to peace now, man.
If he doesn't stand up for his wife when he go home, the woman can say,
I agree.
Look how the parliament
I
disgraced
agree.
me.
Yes,
And you
I
ain't say
agree.
nothing.
Yes.
Okay, you all
I
have a
agree.
very good evening.
You do the
Okay.
same, ma'am.
Okay,
Take care.
Powerful.
You do the same.
So I told Papa, let me pray over
But
it.
two wrongs don't make it right, man.
Yeah, but the speaker
know.
caused this. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Marcus,
So,
how you doing?
listen, I'm right here struggling because Papa wants me to condemn Philip Brave Davis after the speaker caused this.
Yes, sir. But I'm calling your spiritual advisor. He's very, very biased.
How-
Very
how I get biased?
I watch him. Anything pertaining to the FNM.
That's not true.
He wants.
That is-
He wants to make some kind of excuse.
No,
He
that is
finds
not
some,
true.
Anytime somebody gets the PLP, he breaks to laughing.
Okay.
When he comes about talking
Okay,
just
let-
now, he laughing.
let me- let me ask you-
And anytime
hold on.
somebody is against the FNM, he wants to soften it. He wants to do it the other way. All that.
Okay.
The speaker was very, very wrong.
And I agree. And I agree.
It's very wrong.
And I agree. Let me ask you a
And
question.
all of them sit down, beat the death. I mean, that was a disgrace.
Oh, Papa's upset.
He's the worst speaker ever.
Papa
and the spiritual
is
advisor is
upset.
biased as a speaker. Thank you very much, sir.
I thank you.
It's
My
amazing,
spiritual
eh?
advisor.
It's amazing, eh?
The people now-
he would not allow me to give him a question.
Well, defend yourself.
I'm not going to defend myself.
Okay.
I see this wrong on both sides.
All I
I'm cutting it
want
straight.
the country to
What-
know
but what-
is Hubert Alexander Ingram is upset.
But he's also fair.
All right?
He's fair too.
Papa don't want that to happen in the house no more. He's very upset.
And he has said to you that Philip Brave Davis should apologize to the speaker, and likewise the speaker to Philip
No,
Brave
he's
Davis.
never told
That-
me that he is the
That's a two-way street.
Papa said
He wants you to condemn Philip Brave Davis.
Yes, but I told Papa, let me pray over that because
You see, so
Because-
so all that is covering sin.
no, the speaker provoked it. All right? Let's look at what Eileen Karen, what she wrote.
Yeah, I read an article today.
All right?
Very interesting
And this is a couple
article.
days ago. I'm only going to go into it because Mrs. Karen is attempting to cut it straight.
Yeah, I
All right?
read an article.
So, folks, this is in Last Week Tribune. And I'm not reading the entire thing. I'm reading what I regard as important. And you know who Eileen Karen is? She's the daughter of the late Sir Etienne Depuch. And this year, 61 years ago, Sir Etienne Depuch broke down racial discrimination in the country when he moved a resolution the same January, 61 years ago. All right? That's his daughter. And watch what she had to say. If this had been, hold on, I don't want to attribute it the wrong thing to her. Let me go back again. As for the speaker's bizarre diatribe, hurling insults left, right, and center, sparking similarly offensive responses, it is no exaggeration to say we have never seen such behavior from a man holding this office. As respected politicians have said in today's Tribune, the speaker must stand above the cut and thrust of the political engagements in the House. He is the referee, the umpire, who every side must see as a fair player. Eileen Karen Depuch wrote. The speaker seems to have recognized to a degree he has undermined his position, which could have been avoided with a fulsome apology. Alas, as so often in life, sorry seems to be the hardest word. There was a touch of irony to this week's event. Despite the total lack of dignity and obtuse behavior, some manners are so ingrained that as the furious PLP MPs stormed out of the House, they stopped and bowed to the Speaker out of respect for his office. If only, Mrs. Eileen Karen DePuche wrote, such courtesy had extended in the debates from all involved, then the House of Assembly would not have become a laughing stock for all to mock. This Speaker, these are my words, this Speaker must go, and he must go quickly. And the PLP has a duty to move that resolution, because he can't be allowed to get away with it. I have a phone call. Welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, Mr. Moncur.
Yes, my dear.
Spiritual advisor. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Okay, they're fine.
Great,
out
great.
Out of the same mouth and breath, I agree with you said to Mr. Moncur about trying to bring peace, right?
Absolutely.
About the drawing and the 250.
Absolutely.
But I would also say, too, that Mr. Moncur, you could ask Sabas for extra 250 to do a drawing of close likeness of the Speaker.
You mean let him wear his indigenous costume? No.
Whatever.
That would be an African attire, and I don't want him dressed like that, because he say that his wife was an indigenous Bahamian. And history has taught me that there are no Arawak Indians.
Okay.
You see?
Alive.
Alive. Here in the Bahamas. All right? Now, I'm family to some Indians. Dr. Nigel Lewis. And the Lewis clan. They from Red Bay. And when the Sioux Indian, I think it's the Sioux, they came there, the Lewis man them make them. And a bunch of them are descendants of Indian. But the Speaker, wife is not an indigenous Bahamian. So $250, and this has nothing to do with Sabbats. This is Freedom March. And anyone, and the picture must look like his wife, but she must be dressed in an indigenous costume. This is powerful. You take good care, and you could compete in it. You got to be here by the 28th. Address to Freedom March, or address to me, Rodney Moncur, in care of Freedom March. $250.
Y'all take care.
You take good care, my dear, because Papa is upset. Anybody else on the phone? Hello?
Hey, Mr. Moncur.
Right here, sir.
Hey, say hello to Spiritual Advisor.
Hey, how you doing, man? You all right?
Yeah, hey,
Good.
yeah, hey, when the opposition was in power, they did the same thing to Menace and his cabinet, you know.
And they never cursed out Menace's wife.
No, but I talking about what they did, making this big deal about they did this.
No.
The exact thing to Menace and his cabinet, man.
Listen to me. Don't.
This being going on straight through.
Don't be a revisionist. Speak truth to power. Philip Brave Davis, Perry Christie, they don't curse woman out. And they would never treat Mrs. Patricia Menace. That level of indignity, I know
Yeah,
this
but
man.
women want equal rights, right? And women fight for equal rights. So if you want to be equal with a man, you got to take the man left. So
only if the man did you something. She ain't do him nothing.
If the speaker tell you be quiet and you being
No. We're talking Menace.
And you walk out the place, then that's what happens.
I want you to listen to me. The leader of the opposition, Philip Brave Davis' wife, is not a member of parliament, and she was not in any clash with the speaker. What the speaker doing? Attacking man, them, wife.
No, I'm not talking about that part of it.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about they making noise about they throw out the opposition party. They walked out just like our minister walk out, and they got their punishment. So
listen, you are wrong. I want you to listen. You're wrong. It didn't happen that way. Philip Brave Davis and the other parliamentarians were leaving, and a speaker who has no authority told them they are suspended for 2 sessions. That's gangsterism. Anytime.
Ain't nothing could change. The FNMs go always like the FNMs, and the PLPs go always like the PLPs. Just like in the states of the Democrats and Republicans. So all this talk ain't gonna make
Okay, my Negro brother. Booyaka! Because when the PLP get rid of the F&M, don't say nothing. All right? Papa upset. He's never seen the House descend to this level of indignity. Mrs. Anne Marie Davis, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, Sam has apologized on his behalf. Papa say he's sorry. The speaker was so disgusting.
Do you have something to say to the senator?
Be right back.
Freedom March at 3. Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Tout le monde haïtien. Est-ce que vous connaissez madame qui relève Anna? Dis Anna, mon cœur, non. Radio.
Go ahead.
Shall I continue?
We're live.
Okay.
We're live. Shout out to Mr. International. I think he's watching us.
Mr. International.
Dion Delante.
How are you? We are live here on ILTV
Studio. And also 105.3 FM The Beat.
Okay.
Absolutely.
05. Right? Is
yes.
That? Yes. And it's called in Haitian Creole Batla. They get me confused in the studio. Anyway, let me just repeat. You hold that caller for a few seconds, okay? And so I pointed out to you that the leader of the opposition has written a letter to the clerk of the speaker in which they intend to move a vote of no confidence in the speaker. I also told you, and I'm repeating myself because for a few moments we were confused in the studio. I'm repeating myself to also apologize on behalf of the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, a former Prime Minister. He wants me to extend an apology to Mrs. Anne Marie Davis. Okay? Papa, you see? I listen to you. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello? Is there anybody there? Next phone line. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you.
She's there.
Hello?
Hello? Speak. Tell the lady I can hear her talk. Come on, speak to me. She's not speaking.
Try another call.
One more time, speak to me.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. She can't hear me.
Oh, okay.
Disconnect her because she can't hear me. Go to another call. Another caller. Hello, welcome. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Do we have another caller? Next caller. Hello?
Yep, Mr. Mongo.
Sir.
How you doing?
Right here, man.
Yeah, good afternoon, to your spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Yeah, Mr. Mongo, you right on point. The Speaker of the House lose control. Therefore, I love him, but he definitely needs to resign because you cannot allow yourself to lose control being in charge of the House.
That is true.
So he just needs to resign and leave it like that.
Yes.
Well, what if he makes a public apology? Would that be able to make him stay?
He can apologize,
right.
But see, sometimes when you make a mistake like that, you need to resign, because see that is a position where you cannot be biased.
So
you have to be fair on both sides.
So is that sin unpardonable? He cannot be pardoned for that.
But that's not. We ain't talking about no sin. We talking about rules and regulations.
I understand that, but
listen, man, you are correct.
Yeah, we ain't talking about no sin. We talking about, listen, the man made a drastic mistake.
Yeah.
So therefore, he needs to resign.
That is true. That is the way the system works. If he was a white man living in the United Kingdom and trained in accordance with the system that is practiced in the Bahamas, he would go. But Philip Brave Davis say he might be a Durgan, and Papa don't want us to describe him as that. Hello, welcome to Freedom March, and welcome to
Feel a bit better?
Pardon?
Oh, close the door. Hello?
Yes, ma'am. What's on your mind? Speak to me. Speak to me. I can hear you.
Hello?
Hello?
Mr. Moncur?
Yes, ma'am.
Baby, how you doing?
Rachel, honey. Speak.
Turn either your TV or your radio down.
Advisor?
Yes, good afternoon. How are you, ma'am? Turn your TV
How you
or your...
doing?
I am doing fine. How are you?
Okay.
Talk to me. Goodness me, she's not talking to me. Better go to another call.
What I called to say.
Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
Yes. Talk, honey.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Don't listen to the feedback. Turn your TV or radio down.
No, hold on. Hello? Speak, love. Speak.
Next caller, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what I called to say, Mrs. Emmanuel, I don't feel as though she should get up and put the House of Assembly in order with her and her father.
I agree.
Her and her father is one thing, and the House of Assembly is out for business.
That is true.
Not what happened in your house with you and your daddy when you were small. Then, Mr. Davis, I don't think he need to apologize to the Speaker, because if it was me, I am a Christian, and if it was me and you disrespect my wife, whatever I say, I would have said to you in front of your face, not behind your back, because you disrespect me first. So I don't feel as though he should have to apologize.
Yes.
Then, Miss David, Hannah, I know her in the House of Assembly for years, and I don't feel as though she should be disrespect for anything that goes on and deal with anyone saying that she should do this, the Speaker should do this, and she respond to the Speaker.
Yes.
To do this or to do that. That is the House of Assembly.
Yes.
That is the place where people's business is going on.
Yes.
Not acting like you're some child in school and shaking around like you're preaching.
Yeah.
You don't go in there to preach, you preach on the pulpit.
Yes.
When you go in the House of Assembly, you go there
to do the
people's business.
Yes.
Not to say what your daddy and your ma and your pa and all to do with you. That's your business. That's home business.
Yes, you're right.
And I feel like she was really out of order.
Yes.
Mr. Davis don't have nothing to apologize for, because it was me. Thank God I don't do like I used to do or say what I used to say, because I would have had to face him in front of his face and tell him what I had to say, and don't care if I never go back there.
Listen, I thank you.
God bless you. Take care and have a blessed day.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Hello, welcome to Freedom Mass. Papa Simon's Protect, Mrs. Emmanuel.
Mr. Monken, good to you.
Hello.
Good to you, spiritual advisor.
Yes, good evening. How you doing?
I'm good. Mr. Monker, I think the Speaker, he was wrong.
He was wrong.
He did overstep his boundaries.
Yes.
He should not have mentioned the man's wife or, any other extended family, for that reason.
Right.
And I feel as though, like I said earlier, I think Miss Miriam Emanuel, she spoke definitely out of context. I understand what she was getting at,
right?
But it was the wrong forum.
Yes.
Now, as it relates to him resigning or stepping down, at this juncture, seeing that was the first offense, I don't think that is necessary. I think he should need to apologize.
Yeah, I think so too.
In addition to that, I think by now, Prime Minister Minnis should have already stepped in, interjected, and made some statement as it relates to that.
Right.
Have a blessed day.
I thank you.
Hello,
welcome to Freedom March.
Yes, good afternoon, Senator.
God save the Queen.
What I would like to say, from what I saw in Parliament,
yes,
the Speaker was trying to show the difference between his wife and the opposition wife.
Yeah.
He said his wife was from Grandstown.
Yes.
Which actually he was indicating that she's an indigenous
Bahamian.
Bahamian.
But he lied. All the Arawak, he married to no Arawak Indian.
Yeah, but he has used the word indigenous.
Yes.
What does indigenous mean?
His wife is an African. She ain't no Indian?
I don't believe he meant it in
that sense, eh?
In that fashion.
That's the same way I don't believe when Philip Brave Davis called him a Durgan. I thought he meant a fish, but Ingram said Durgan in this context is a Jack A.
A next situation with a lot of people isn't talking about.
What's that?
When the speaker came out of Parliament and he was interviewed, the person who was interviewing him asked him more or less if he was more or less sorry for what he actually said.
And what did the speaker say?
He said if he has to do it again, he'll do it the same way.
Right.
So he can't be sorry.
No. The speaker ain't saved, you know. The speaker is not a saved man. You take good care. I got 2 more callers.
Oh.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello, Mr. Monka.
Sir.
In terms of the Speaker of the House.
Yes?
There's no doubt that he should resign. Should resign. He brought forth a point discussing why he dismissed Alice Maynard, why he dismissed Clarence Carter Martin out of the House.
Right.
And then when the Speaker of the Opposition, when the leader of the Opposition got up to speak, he did not call him up on his point of privilege.
Right.
To defend her point.
Right.
So how can you be surprised when the rest of the opposition wants to leave the House?
Right.
And then after that, what you have after that is Miriam Emanuel with her points with concerning domestic abuse in the household. That's completely wrong. She cannot be a woman in the House of Assembly saying things like that because she's a woman that young women are going to look up to.
Yeah. Your point is well taken. Hers, but it was him who picked the fruit. I ain't gonna let him get away. Papa said I must protect the woman. I can protect her.
No, that's true, but I don't think Miriam Emanuel should be left out of the brunt of the retribution of this entire...
Oh, yeah. People are cursing her out, but Papa wants me to protect her, so I'm going to protect her. But the big black speaker who cursed out the man wife, he must resign. You take good care, eh?
I see.
You're a good man.
I got a text here that says...
Hello, welcome to Freedom...
I got a text here that says, Mr. Monk, I think the Speaker of the House should be appointed by the Chief Justice or be a judge or justice of the peace. So he should have no bias or political affiliation. How does that sound? That isn't the way the system is designed.
No, let me pray this.
Yeah.
If this, I take this from Bahamas Uncensored. It says, if this had been the United Kingdom or Canada or the United States, the Speaker of the House, Houston Moultrie, would not have lasted the weekend. After last week's emotional rant of prejudice and personally directed invective, there is only one place to go but out the door. The Speaker attacked the chairman of the PLP, Senator Fred Mitchell, saying that he had placed in the speech of the leader of the opposition the word misogynist and applied it to the Speaker. The Speaker, in an appalling example of ignorance, confused the word misogyny with the word homosexual. After that, it was all downhill. So in other words, Bahamas censure is saying that when the Speaker heard the word misogyny, he thought they were saying he was homosexual. But that ain't what it means. You can be a misogynist, in my opinion, and be a woman. Because I believe a bunch of these women are nothing but a bunch of misogynists. Although the meaning is applicable to a male who does not like woman. And they're not talking about sexually. So the Speaker, as Bahamas Uncensored pointed out, got confused. And that's when he put on his robe of masculinity and started running on. So the Speaker revealed his insecurity about his sexual identity, according to Bahamas Uncensored, when he unleashed a broadside against Mr. Mitchell calling him pervert and reprobate and soft and a powder puff. He did it behind the mask of parliamentary privilege, and so it is not an actionable libel. There are some obvious ethical issues. First, the use of homophobic slurs are not acceptable in this society. As a mature man, surely Mr. Moultrie has been around homosexuals. He goes to a church where they are in the choir and in the congregation. Now they know what he, a Christian man, thinks of them. It is just ignorance at its height. And you know, Moultrie is about 7 feet tall. He's a big black man. Secondly, Mr. Mitchell should not be the object of his ire, since the statement was not Mr. Mitchell's statement. The Speaker's logic in attacking Mr. Mitchell was wrong. The Speaker himself has professional advisors. The Speaker himself has professional advisors. Among those are the Chief Clerk and his staff at the House of Assembly. David Forbes is the Chief Clerk. No matter what Mr. Forbes writes for the Speaker or what he whispers in the Speaker's ear, the statement made by the Speaker are the Speaker's. The statement that irritated the Speaker was that of the leader of the opposition, not Mr. Mitchell. Should now Mr. Mitchell attack Mr. Forbes for penning the words which the Speaker spoke? Is Mr. Mitchell now justified in similarly attacking Mr. Forbes? The Speaker is on shaky grounds. It seems with his own party, with former F&M Deputy Prime Minister Frank Watson opining that the Speaker suffered from inexperience, and an anonymous F&M in the same Tribune article 10th of February saying that the Speaker had erred in suspending members for leaving the chamber. So for all sorts of reasons, the Speaker is in an untenable position. He has a lot to think about. When the House resumes on Monday the 12th of February, he ought to resign. Listen, this comes from Fred Mitchell's website, BahamasUncensored.com. And this was posted after Hubert Ingram and I met for a little cup of tea. And Papa is advancing the same argument. Papa is very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. And I only want the people them to know that. Let me do 2 quick shout-outs. To Mrs. Doris Gomez. You celebrated your 98th birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday to you. And to Miss Nora Cooper. Listen, I'm thinking of you. And when the show is over, I shall be heading to your house.
All right, you want to read some text?
Some text,
okay.
my spiritual advisor.
Mr. Monica, to compensate John Charles with both citizenship and money would be a double pay. Mr. Monica, let your spiritual advisor know the Speaker was called a Durgan at Mr. Davis' press conference. This was after he was suspended. Your spiritual advisor needs to stop being unfair.
I'm good.
Whatever that is. I think the Speaker needs evaluation. Something is definitely wrong with him. That's the text. Gentlemen, good day, Mr. Monica. This all smoking screens because I see the Deputy Prime Minister's borrowing $90 million.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Are we in trouble, Mr. Monica? Spiritual advisor, I agree with everything you say. Question. Why are you divorced?
Spiritual advisor, move on. It's the devil. Your name is spiritual advisor.
But you know what? No, this is fair. Spiritual advisor, I agree with everything that you said. I need to ask a question, though. Why are you divorced?
You're not going to answer that.
I know I'm going to answer it, but here's the other part of the question. And what advice would you give the people who are getting married in this time of new age for us young people? I think that's a very Fair question.
But don't answer
and
that.
one day I could deal. I like that question.
Yeah.
One day we could deal with that.
Tax.
Advisor, you make a good point today. What else? You guys are live. Make an announcement that when folks call in to please turn their radio or TV down. Yes. That is good sound advice. Here we go. Mr. Monica, you're on TV Live. Good. Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Monica and Spiritual Advisor. I just love your show. It's a pity I can only catch the rebroadcast because I have evening classes.
Be on radio.
But Mr. Monica, don't let no one discourage you guys from speaking the truth. People just need to know what's going on in this country. Thank you for standing up for us, Mr. Monica. We need people like you around in this country.
We thank you for those kind words. Listen, folks, when Freedom March ends, we got big newsroom here. I just been in the newsroom. I know where Sebastian find all them big computer and camera. We will have eyewitness news immediately. So don't cut off this radio and don't cut off the TV, because I could now play journalism. And I'm going to tell you something. This TV station that Sabat's got here is going to turn out to be the biggest and the bestest TV station. We got everything here. Drone camera, all kind of good man reporter and woman reporter. And we have good news. You hear me? This is where the news, right? And when I take my adjournment, I'm going into the newsroom to, anoint those new journalists. So don't leave us. News, eyewitness news. All we have is news. All right? So we can have an update. I just want you all to know that. We got radio, 105.3 FM.
The Beat.
The Beat. Tout le monde haïtien. 105.3 FM.
Batla.
The Beat. Batla. Go ahead, my spiritual
Good
advisor.
afternoon, Mr. Monica and Spiritual Advisor. I happen to agree with both of you guys. Each of you make a good point. But like the Spiritual Advisor said, two wrongs don't make a right, Mr. Monica, and both should apologize and get on with the people's business and stop wasting the people's tax funds.
Well, Papa...
The country's in serious problem, Mr. Monica. When we see our adults carrying on like this, what do you expect for the young people to do?
I quite agree. But Papa didn't say he must ask Philip Brave Davis to apologize. He just said he must...
Condemn him.
But I told Papa, offense will be, but woe who
to
it
whom
spring
they come.
from.
Yeah.
So Papa, I can pray over it, and I'll see what we can do. But the wife of the leader of the opposition in this country, I want the people them to tell her that I had tea with the former Prime Minister, Hubert Ingram, and he say he's so sorry that the Speaker did that. And he asked me on his behalf. And I want the country to know, I, Rodney Monica, a Justice of the Peace, is authorized by the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram to apologize to Philip Brave Davis's wife, Anne Marie. And I can speak on Papa's behalf. Papa, say, listen, talk on my behalf, but don't lie. That's it. Because tomorrow when I come, I have not finished talking about Mr. Ingram, because Mr. Ingram has now went to Rawson Square. And Papa's been driving around Prince George Wharf, and he's displeased. I mean, it's amazing. Papa's mad. Say, how come Minister wouldn't fix the toilets so the hair braiders would have some place? And the taxi drivers. I have a message from Hubert Ingram. And tomorrow,
Papa had 15 years to drive around, you know.
And don't leave. Eyewitness News is coming on in 46 minutes.
Let me get this last step.
Stop attacking Papa.
Papa had 15 years to drive around.
Stop it.
Get after Mr. Monica and Spiritual Advisor. Mr. Monica needs to stop what he's doing. All he's doing is adding fuel to the fire. He talks about, why don't he draw a photo of Mr. Leonard Archer and Miss Mary Knapp throwing him out of school?
That would be a wonderful photo. Papa, I have the slant so the country can see this necktie. Papa, I thank you for the necktie. Papa promised me you're going to be like Henry Boswick. So when you give me more clothing, Papa, don't throw no lotus. But thank you. Papa, thank you for all the nice necktie. Brother Jacks, come for some. It's plenty.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.